we're going to spend just a little bit of time on reflection of last week. If you were here last week, then if you remember, what are the 4 ways that the Rockefellers built legacy? Do you guys remember what they did? There was an actual way that they built legacy. So we'll go over that today. So if you weren't here, then guess what? We're going to talk about that today. And then if you were here, then it's just going to be a really great review of what we talked about last week. So again, for those who just joining, what would the Rockefellers do? Again, I don't get on here to sell y'all anything. There is no link in the bio. I get this off of Amazon. It's one of the books I give out the most. Matter of fact, I want to know what, like, because I read about 5 books a week. So this is always a staple. I want you to, let me tell you guys something. Don't ever buy a book and read it and don't take at least one thing from it and implement it. And so just use that as a tool. So you don't have to always do the entire thing, but just always commit to doing one thing from there. Okay, you guys, great. So now this just should be showing on the YouTube page. Just so you know, on YouTube, there is a little bit of a delay, but we are about to get this thing started. So right now, we're just going to talk about the wealth, psychology, family unit, and legacy systems. And then we're going to also talk about what is the actual family bank. So if you remember last week, 2 weeks ago, we said, like, what you guys want to know, like, how do you really do this thing? So again, for those of you just joining, we're talking about what the Rockefellers do here. So there are 2 things real quick. We have the Tales of the Two Legacy. If you guys remember how much money that the Vanderbilts had when they got started? So if you remember from a couple of weeks ago, they both what would be the equivalent today of $160+ billion for the Vanderbilts and over $300 billion for the Rockefellers. And the Vanderbilts, if you remember from a couple of weeks ago, they had no structure and they lost all of their money. So y'all, imagine losing almost $200 billion in 3 generations. I know, right? That's what the Vanderbilts did. However, the Rockefellers created a structure and they're 6 generations and they're still going. So they have trust, they have values, they have their strategies preserved. And so right now, I want you to write down on whatever paper you have. So those of you just joined, I'm talking about what the Rockefellers do, what the Rockefellers do over here. But I want you to write down, what is the current legacy of your family? So what does that look like for your family members right now? When you think the way your family is structured. So write that down. Do you guys already have your family values written down? Do you already have a trust? Do you feel like if you passed away right now, would your family be good? I was sharing last week, just because I'd been having a conversation that day, that I tell my girls all the time that uh, when I die, like, I don't actually care. If y'all watched that documentary, the Mortician, it's probably why we were having the conversation. And I was telling my girls, like, when I die, I don't care what they do with the body, but I do hope that they are. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to move some things around for you folks that are on YouTube Live. But I hope that they like they throw my ashes somewhere and then they go cry in their Bentley or they go cry in their Ferrari. That's what we all want our kids to do. Oh, and let me tell y'all something real quick too while we're talking about it. Do not be ashamed. Do not be ashamed to have a Nepo baby. Right? Like, do not hear me say this. We are not ashamed that we have a Nepo babies around here. I want my kids. Sorry, you guys, I'm having to move some things around. I want my kids to be Nepo babies. I want to be able to make a phone call to help them out. So just know there's no shame in being able to do that. Okay. So did y'all get that written down? Like, where's your family current? Like, what does that currently look like for your family? What does your family structure currently look like? Okay, next, we're going to recap real quick the 4 wealth principles that the Rockefellers used. They use trust to protect their wealth. So everything you own, you guys, should be in a trust, right? And we won't get into the types of trust today, but even if you set up one trust right now, and listen, you can go, there's some ways that you can do this online. What I would tell you to do is go find a CPA or go find an attorney in your community. You guys, there's so many ways to get this paid for, but you want to absolutely have a trust. The goal is for you to own nothing and control everything. So I use the example, if you if I'm in a car accident, right? So if I'm driving and I'm in a car accident and I caused a car accident, whatever my insurance policy says is the only thing somebody can get from me. And right now, I'm literally sitting, which is why I start on the cigar side. I'm literally sitting in our business, and our business is protected, right? So our business is protected, our home is protected, our cars are protected, and we own nothing, and we control everything. And that's why you want to be able to have a trust. So just know that. Um, which is the second principle. Then we have to create the family bank. We're going to talk about that today. And then most importantly, guys, and I want y'all to hear me say this. I've actually seen this. I've actually seen this in real time. I want you to, if you didn't a couple of weeks ago and you didn't do your homework, I want y'all to know we're passing down values, not just money. So some of you know, and I got some feedback. People were saying, but I know really rich people and they're awful people. Yeah, do you know what they pass down? They pass down money. The people that you know who have a really solid legacy, they pass down values system. And I talked about a family that I know in Lincoln, Nebraska, and the guy's name is Jim Abel, and he was getting an award, and I was there. And up on the screen, you guys, he literally had the paper, like a sheet of paper written from his great grandfather. And Jim Abel, like this dude got to be late 70s, 80s. So we ain't talking about a spring chicken here. And he had the family values that his great grandfather had written down. So they were now three generations away. He's the third generation. And they stupid wealthy, right? And I ain't counting nobody else's coin, but they have lots of money. But they have all this money because the value led, the money did not lead. And so when you see people who like raising these asshole kids, it's because they didn't pass them any values. So now let's talk about the wealth mindset. So if you just joined, we talked about a minute ago that if you have not done the thing that you said you were going to do in January, you're the one who said new year, new me, and then you ain't done the thing. Again, that's a sign, that's a chemical reaction. So that's, you're not lazy. So just kind of rest in that. But we want to talk about the science of a wealth mindset, right? How is it that some people, even if either you could be that person in your family, or you know the person in your family who they should just dip from everybody else's, right? Does that sound familiar? Like you always got the one in your family who made it, who we call you made it. So one, let me just say this. Your body absolutely becomes addicted to the scarcity and stress. This is the great thing about an addiction. Any behavioral addictions can be rewired, and that happens in your nervous system. So the good news is we can rewire it, and we rewire it by always being grateful, by gratitude. And then there's some technical things we're going to do too, like we're going to have some automatic savings and some visualizations. Especially if you're in the Millionaires Club, you know this. You guys, the car that I drive now, and I kid you not, like the car that I drive now was on my vision board when I was in my brokest. I live in Nebraska now. I'm originally from Texas. When I was in Texas, um, when I was in Texas, Warren Buffett was right dead center of my vision board. And within 4 years, I met him. So you need to be able to visually see the things that you're wanting to be. So this is our next step, right? So we know we're gonna create a vision board. We know we're gonna have gratitude every day. We know we're gonna see the millions in our bank account before they even get there. We walking like millionaires. We're acting like millionaires. But now we need to do something I think is really important, you guys. We need to get our family members on board. We need to get our family members on board. So right now, I want you to write down on what you write down in your journal, how you're keeping up with this. I want you to write down the family members that you think is going to be the easiest that you can come and say, we need to do what the Rockefellers are doing. So write those family members' names down, right? So that be your mom, your dad. Listen, sometimes y'all it ain't. So, listen, sometimes it's not mom and dad. Matter of fact, those are usually the hardest people, right? It could be your favorite first cousin. It could be like the cool auntie. Write down one or two people that you know that right now if you picked up the phone, it's like, hey, I'm just kind of thinking about doing this thing that the Rockefellers did. Like, can we talk about it? I want you to write those names down. Then I want you to conversely, I want you to write down the people who would pour water on this thing. I want you to write down the people right now, and they would say, what you doing that for? Write down the names of people like, that's dumb, or we don't have the money, or all those things. And then people that you know that you have this conversation with, I want you to commit to yourself right now that within the next 24 hours, you're going to have a conversation with them and just present the idea. Or I want you to just have the conversation, say, can I send you a book? Or, and you guys, I'll try to find it really quick, the websites. I actually took their course. But again, these guys, they offer a free course. They offer PowerPoints. They offer the entire thing for free. So even if you cannot buy the book, and so again, we don't sell anything over here. So even if you cannot buy the book, what I will do is drop the link for you and then just go there. And guess what? Send that family member the link. Okay. Then what you're going to do once with these family members that you know you can trust, right? That with what the Rockefellers are going to book, I want y'all together to write out what your mission is. Like, what is the mission? And so if you're not familiar with the mission, I want you to just Google search, not right now, because we got a spot to get through, but I want you to just Google search, how do corporate companies come up with their missions and their value statements and their vision statements? Because that's what you're going to do for your own family. Then what I want you to guys to do, because you're going to have the coursework for this, what I want you to do with these trusted family members, I want you guys in the next 24 hours when you talk to them, I want you guys to then commit to hosting once a month a family conversation. And I want y'all to do that in a way that you would naturally do it. Again, my husband and I, we have a weekly financial date night. So I don't care how many Amazon boxes come to my house, full disclosure, he's going to know about it because we talk about money. If you do not talk about money in your household, let me be clear, it's going to be so uncomfortable first time you do it. If you have a partner that you are not aligned with financial principles, it's going to be so hard to do it. And then if y'all want the parents who be balling out in front of y'all kids and y'all in the background trying to rob Peter to pay Paul, it's going to be very hard to do. But let me say this, we're going to do it anyway. And the more you do, start having these conversations, what I promise you is the easier it's going to get. And then more importantly, if you have young people, so you do not necessarily have to have children. But remember, because this thing we're talking about, what the Rockefellers do, this is about family, you guys. And this is about the whole family. This is not just who in your household. You're going to try to get everybody on board. So if you are the fun auntie or uncle, and you have little nieces or little cousins that you really care about, assign a role to them. Make sure that you are having that they are invited to the table when these conversations are happening. And more importantly, and you, especially you Black women, y'all awful about this. Celebrate the small wins. Y'all got to celebrate the small wins. Y'all have to look for what is the win that you have. The win may be that you just bought the book. That may be the win is that you bought the book. Okay. So if you bought the book, I want you to celebrate it. I want you to go to Facebook and be like, y'all, I just bought this book and I'm really excited about it. Don't read the comments because that's where y'all people gonna be like, what you doing that for? Okay, so anyway, let's go. So now let's talk about the family bank, right? So that's what we're really here for. How did they really create like these trusts and legacies and all the things? So again, 2 weeks ago, we know they wrote out their family values. If you don't have it from 2 weeks ago, yeah, I think I posted the video. If not, I promise I'll get it uploaded today. Just go watch it on the YouTube. So you're gonna absolutely need a will. You're gonna absolutely need a trust for this. But more importantly, you need to write out your family values, right? So you're gonna write out what are the family values. Every single Rockefeller, they get the family values. One of the things we also worked on 2 weeks ago, if you haven't done, I want y'all to do this today. I want you to write your letter to your future generations. So you're going to physically, so not only writing out your value systems, right? So again, this is what the Rockefellers did. You're also writing out letters and saying, this is my hope for the wealth that we're creating. What do you want them to know about how you created this money? And listen, do not say, Kim, I have a negative bank account. I do not care about that because we're talking about what's going to happen because I'm going to show you guys how to make this happen. Right. So just know you need to write the letters and you're writing the letters to the future generations. And when we think about what the Rockefellers did, that letter, you guys, continues to get passed forward. So this, you're not writing a letter that will never get read. You're writing letters to people who will never meet you physically, but guess what? They won't know your name, and more importantly, they will be grateful for all the money that you left them. So we're going to talk about the insurance. In the book, let me state this. In the book, they talk about whole life insurance. I am not whole life insurance. What I will tell you is this. I think, and also depending on what age you are, really consider IUL insurance. Okay. That's IUL insurance. Those of you who are watching this and you're in the Millionaires Club, just ask Amma. And Alma don't know I'm on here. Alma don't know I'm promoting this, but Alma's a sister. Alma's very trustworthy. Alma has a license to be able to do this. So she not cosplaying on the internet. But so that's if you're in the community. If you're not in the millionaires community and you're Black woman, you just join because it's free and then go ask Alma. But if not, then just whoever has your current insurance, you want to ask them about about IUL insurance. So you want to start there. And then what you want to do, and this is going to sound a little scary, but I want you guys to commit to this. Not only are you going to fund it, and depending on what age you are, you're going to overfund it, right? So you may say, we want $1 million, we want 2 million, and y'all know, listen, that sounds like a lot of money. $1 million is not a lot of money. I'd even venture to say some of y'all on here have hit a millionaire status and you don't know because you hadn't actually tracked you haven't actually tracked where your money went. And that happens a lot. I know lots of people who that's happened to. But anyway, so you're going to ask your insurance agent about IUL insurance specifically. Um, do a comparison with whole life. Like, I'm not anti whole life. Just one works faster than the other. Then the next thing I want you guys to do, I want you to do at least $1 million insurance policy. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when you start getting insurance policies that high, this is what you get to do. You get to get the benefit of your insurance policy while you're living. While you're living. So most people talk about death benefits. This ain't that. Okay. We talking about what the Rockefellers did. So we're not talking about death benefits. Are death benefits part of it? Yes. So get with your IUL insurance policy, you're going to be able to access a lot of those funds today, depending on how much you fund in it. And that money really compounds, you guys. So I'm not talking about if you, I, I think if you, this is age. So I'm going to talk about for me. So we put $1 million in. I think we had to fund it at 15,000. We funded it pretty quickly, and then we were able to pull out about 200,000 pretty quick. So think about that, you guys. This is how people who are entrepreneurs also purchase their homes. So if you're an entrepreneur, this is a power tip. This ain't part of Rockefeller's, but let me say this: if you're an entrepreneur, and say your books look a little funny, IUL insurance in a trust is a great way, listen, I promise you that is a way to purchase a home. Because you may have a lot of cash on hand, but maybe you're not paying yourself a lot. Do you know who else I want you girls to go follow? Who got great content around this? It's called Melon and Money. Those two guys, they're financial advisors, and they're financial advisors and maybe an insurance agent. I can't remember. Go follow them brothers. It's Melon and Money. But anyway, so you're gonna get the IUL insurance and you're gonna overfund it, and you're gonna put that insurance in a trust. So make sure you guys are writing this down. So when you're talking to your CPA or you're talking to your attorney, you guys, although y'all know I believe in having relationships with these people I'm talking about, this thing is so critical. Sometimes you just have to do the work and build a relationship on the back end. Tamara says she has the book. That's right. This is the book, you guys. This is the book I want you to have. So, but just go do this. It is really important for you guys to do this as soon as possible. You do not know if you may get hurt. You do not know if somebody in your family is going to pass away. We just know that it is going to happen at some point. So again, depending on what age you are, right? And y'all 20-year-olds, let me think, like, this is important for y'all too. And then once you do this strategy, because especially if you're watching this from the US, hear me say this, then you get liquid, right? So that means how much money can you access, right? So some people have like these high net worths, but y'all, that shit is tied up. They can't eat with it like today. So you want to make sure so this strategy I'm telling you about keeps you liquid, number one. You guys, it has tax advantages. So y'all know when you hear people say, I didn't pay any taxes, now that's not state tax. So that's what people really not being honest and telling you guys. What they're talking about are federal taxes, okay? So for those of you who don't talk about what the Rockefellers do. So there are some tax advantages for you being able to get this to move money into your trust and the way you're gonna and through your insurance policy. And the way you're moving the money, you guys, it is actually not taxed. Right. And then more importantly, and we're not going to get all the way into this today. Once you do this, then with your family members, you build a long-term strategy, right? How do you get in touch with Alma? You know what, y'all? I promise y'all, I'm gonna got her number and her email. I'm gonna try to find her email. I got two screens up, but I promise y'all, I will drop Alma's email. And I'm telling y'all, just trust her. And I know we internet cousins. I'm telling y'all, I trust her. I trust her. Yo, she is doing this for my 24-year-old daughter. So my 24-year-old daughter has her own bank. So I'm not telling y'all, I'm telling y'all the people that I use. That's why if y'all click the link in my bio, and go to my stand store. I hope they don't ever see this. I told y'all, even my wealth advisor, everything my wealth advisor does, I didn't take their logo off of it. You can go download that stuff for free. Okay, you can just go there and download it free. So anyway, so what is in the Rockefeller Family Bank again? A system funded through whole life insurance policy. They use whole life again. I'm more about IUL personally. Um, when you have IUL insurance, you can use that money. You can use it now. And guess what? When you something else about IUL, I think it's really important for you guys to know. So if you have a $1 million life insurance policy, even once you start borrowing against it, it does not diminish fully your death benefits. So guess what? Your kids are still getting the benefit of that $1 million life insurance policy. So just know that. The next thing I want you guys to start thinking about that the Rockefellers did was then how did they circulate the money and not waste it? So if you remember the Vanderbilts, they lost their money after three generations. So remember Anderson Cooper, right? His mom's one of the last actual Vanderbilts. If you remember, he inherited zero. He inherited $0. Then they be saying that. I'm sure he got a little something like a house, something. But remember, you guys, they had over $160 billion, and in three generations they lost all of that. So I want you to guys think about how you're going to circulate this money. Y'all, we are not using this money at this point to ball out. This is part of a strategy. So this is how, for those of you who want to get into like short-term rental properties, this is the strategy to do it. This is a strategy to do it. And guess what? It is so much cheaper when you are borrowing money from your own family bank than going to an actual bank to do it. And you do all of this through your insurance. This is literally, you guys, just an insurance strategy. This is what the wealth are doing. Can you send me a private message? Yes, absolutely. Um, this is what they do. Oh, for those of you who were not here last week, this is not on the slide, but I want to make sure I tell you guys this. Do not, okay. If you are saving money for your kid for a college savings plan, if you're saving money for like a little niece and nephew, like I provide in my will, in my insurance policy, like my niece and my nephew are part of this thing. Um, don't do the 529 college plan. I don't care what people tell. I don't care who tell y'all that. I want you. No, this is not in the book what I'm talking about now. This is just talk to Alma about it, honey. Or talk to your insurance agent about. They have an insurance policy. It's called the $1 Million Baby. That's what the wealthy do. They are not using the 529 college plan. The 529 college plan, for disclosure, that was created for middle class people. And I'm not saying we are not middle class people. What I am saying, we're using the strategies of wealthy people. Okay. So just as a tidbit, do the $1 Million Baby plan insurance plan. There's a lot of reasons why we won't get into it. Okay. Every time you borrow from your own family bank, you guys, you're only borrowing money for investing. This is not the money you're borrowing to buy a car, right? We don't use this money as part of this plan to do any depreciating assets. We only put this money in assets that are going to grow. Okay. And then more importantly, and make sure y'all please write this down. And make sure y'all saying this because remember we having financial date nights. If you can't do it once a week, y'all do it once a month. But do not No, my kids are in. So for the $1 million baby plan, you cannot do the that plan for your kids in the 20s. But again, your kids that's in their 20s, they can start their own family bank right now. So you have your 20-year-olds do their own IUL insurance policy. They should be doing the same thing and get this thing, we're going to tie it in. But they have, listen, if your kids, so y'all know I got Gen Zs. Y'all know I got ADD. So anyway, I got Gen Zs. And full disclosure, these jokers do not want to work forever. They are doing everything now so they can be fully retired by 40. So if I tell y'all, if y'all see my kids out balling out, trust me, they parents, they just didn't put us in the picture because they know that they are saving right now. And they're maxing out their 401ks also through this strategy. And write this down too. I want y'all to write this down because I want y'all to ask your attorney about this. If you have a CPA or if you have a wealth advisor, and you guys don't think you don't have to have $1 million to have a wealth advisor. You get to $1 million by having a wealth advisor. I want you to ask them about a solo 401k. That's a solo 401k, right? This is part of the strategy that you're going to use for this right here. Okay. So we're teaching our family, but more importantly, this is what I want y'all to write down. Your family members have to know this thing that you're building. This is called sacred capital, right? So again, this is not the ball out capital. We're going to talk about eventually how we get there, right? Because there's lots of ways to make money and do the things, but this is sacred capital. This is money that, again, that 3, 4, 5, 6 generations for you ladies will be around for people you will never meet. So we're going to recap real quick about your family bank, right? So you're going to open up your insurance policy. You're going to try to open it up today if you can. You guys, you can't do $1 million today because of maybe your age or health or whatever. Again, have them run the scenario. Like y'all, they will just run the scenario for you. They will run the scenario for you, okay? So they will run the scenarios for you. So if it's not $1 million today, do something, right? It could be 500,000, it could be 100,000. You can always increase, but the goal is to be able to do something. You want to overfund this as fast as you can. So that means, and let me tell you, because y'all don't I be having to get on to y'all, especially you Black women. When I think about giving money away. So I don't loan money. So I choose not to loan money ever, right? So either I can give you the money or my no is my no. You guys, I don't make any bones about my no. Let me say this. If you have not fully funded this policy, you cannot afford to loan money. So if you're one of those people who feel like you have to justify what you did with your own money and you need an out, full disclosure, this is your out, you really ain't got it. I mean, seriously, like you really ain't got it. There is nothing. Where do you open the insurance policy? You're going to open it with an agent, right? So again, I use a chick named Alma. She's in our online community. If you're a Black woman, you can join the community and just search Alma. If not, you guys, let me try to find a second device. I'll just pull it up for you now. And y'all know I'm new to like all this technology, so I'm gonna try to figure out how I can type it in. But if not, I'll definitely spell her stuff out for you. So give me 2 seconds, you guys, and I'm gonna do this for you. But Alma actually teaches this class. So she teaches the IUL insurance specifically. Alma actually teaches this once a month in the community. So just so that you guys know that if you are in the community and you're looking at this, she does teach this once a month. Sorry, guys, I'm just pulling this up so I can get you Alma's contact information. Okay, so you're gonna overfund it as quickly as you can. And then the next thing you're gonna do, you guys, you're going to borrow against it. So right now, even before you get to the money, right? I want you guys to be thinking about what kind of properties are in your community. Because remember, we only put these in assets that grow for us. We are not borrowing money for a car. We're not borrowing money for a vacation. This is not that fun. This is only for assets that grow, right? So how do you join the community? If you click the link in my bio, it'll take you to my stand store. And again, it's a free community. It will always be free, you guys. There's always free class. Our class last night was so fire. but it's always free classes in there. And then you just get on the wait list and I send you a link because we just make sure people are who they say they are. But give me 1 second. I'm going to give y'all Alma's information. Uh, but I want you to know you're gonna fund it as fast as you can, and then you're gonna start borrowing against it. Do you hear me say this? You are not going to the bank to get a loan. This is how you create this. I told you I'm creating this building. This is how you create your own bank. Okay. And then let me be clear. As soon as whatever your appreciating asset is, you start repaying your own bank back first. You're not paying yourself back first, right? You're not paying yourself back first. You're gonna literally pay back your personal, your family bank. You're gonna pay that back first. So you guys give me 1 second. I know y'all not be trying over here. Let me find our event and I will give you guys her contact information. And I probably better tell her that y'all gonna be reaching out. Yeah, and seriously, I'll reach out to Alma. Seriously, like reach out to her. Don't feel like you have to go this alone. I'm telling y'all, I trust her. She does not know that I'm on here saying this. She did not ask me, hey Tiffany. She did not ask me to promote her business. This ain't that. That's not even who I am. What I am saying is, okay, well, shoot. I'm just have to search it real quick. What I am saying is, it's just somebody that I trust. And oh, let me say this. Let me say this about Alma. I don't know that Alma's on. But I will say this. Even if you don't go with her, say you don't use Alma at all. Say you like, I don't know her, and I don't know you, Kim. I will say this. Just ask her to still run the scenarios for you while you go find somebody you do want to trust. She will do that for you. She will do that. Just go ask her to just run the scenario. And what could that look like for you to get insurance? She has access to so many opportunities. Hey Sonia, how are you, love? Hey Sonia, did you get the book What the Rockefellers Do? Yeah, this is our second week of talking about this. Again, we're talking about the IUL insurance policy. You guys, I promise you, I'm still trying to look for Alma's contact information. So give me 2 seconds. Here we go. Oh crap. Y'all give me 2 seconds. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to pull it up. I finally found it, but I need to pull up her contact information. All right. You'll get this book, Amy, and make sure your kids get this. When am I usually so I try to do this every single Wednesday at noon Central Standard Time. Okay, you guys, give me y'all give me just 2 more seconds. I promise you I'm almost I got like three screens up. And so trying to talk to y'all out and over here. So I'm almost there. I promise you, I'm gonna get y'all contact information and then we get on about our day. But y'all want to take this class and you do want to reach out to her. And again, if you like, I don't know you, don't reach out to Alma, then just reach out to somebody in your community that can help you with this. Okay. Like make that commitment to yourself. Because again, how many of y'all said something at the beginning of the year and you haven't done it? How many of y'all, but y'all still going to jobs y'all hate? Y'all still having the chest pain from financial stress. And what we're talking about here is just keeping our commitments to ourselves. That's it, y'all. Nothing more, nothing less. Yeah, hopefully I'm getting this. Y'all know we have a lot of events in our community. So I'm having to scroll down. I thought, just give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna get there. I'll tell y'all what. If I don't find it here, because I want to be respectful of everyone's time. If you click the link in the bio some point today, like y'all give me like 2 hours after this, then I promise you I will have her contact information there. I promise you I will put it in there because I want y'all to be able to have somebody again that I trust. It's no different than when I talk about like our wealth advisor. I didn't even take their logo off, you guys. So it's there. Feel free to call them out. Literally, like use my name. Like they ain't gonna give y'all nothing. So just y'all know. But I would just say I saw a chick named Kim Goins on TikTok or on YouTube, and I didn't know where to start. So guys, just make sure that you're doing that. Also, right now, if you're a solopreneur right now, you guys make sure you have your LLC. And this is not part of the Rockefeller method because I want y'all to just do the things we've talked about. I don't want to, because last 2 weeks ago, some people said I overwhelmed with all the information. I don't want to do that again. So the information we're going to, again, you're going to start your family bank. You're going to write down your values. You're going to write the letters to your family members. You're not your current family members, your future family members, about how you want to, what you think about the money you created, how you want the money to be used in the future. But now I just want to talk about a few extra things I want you ladies to be and gentlemen to be thinking about. Number one, if you're not already doing that, especially if you got a kid right out of college, you guys, and they're working for a Fortune 100 company, they give reduced stock. Make your babies, do not give them the option. Y'all do not give them the option of doing this. Let me tell you this. You know how you create generational wealth? You have to have the money at least a generation. So, okay, so Sophia asked about an LLC or sole proprietorship. So absolutely create an LLC first. But just to know, you guys, people don't tell you this, but I'm going to tell you this. An LLC is not where you start getting the tax benefits for your company. So just know that. An LLC is literally that limited liability. Your LLC is literally just a protection of your company assets. Just know that. Okay. Once you hit, I think so if your business is making, I think $75,000 or less, the topic today was what was the Rockefellers do? So that's going to be the topic next week too. But if you're making $75,000 or less in your current business, you just have an LLC. The reason why you do not want to have a sole proprietorship, because if you pull out of your driveway today and you hit somebody, they can come after all of your assets. This is how you start protecting your assets, is with your business LLC. Okay. And again, we have all these things, y'all, again, wrapped up in trust. So just so you know, like we don't own anything on paper. I don't own a house on paper. We don't own our cars on paper because our businesses own our cars. That's how we buy them. And then those are owned by the trust, right? Because business is owned by the trust. So just know that. But you don't have to have a huge assets to be able to do these things now. So get you an LLC, absolutely. Because guess what? Even if you make like a little trinket, if you ship a trinket, you guys, kid swallow that trinket, they're gonna sue you. So that's why you want to have an LLC, so to protect your personal assets, right? But let me say this: don't not start a business because you can't afford an LLC right now, and especially for like it's a service industry business. But if there's a business you're driving for, if you can cause harm, make sure y'all go get all the insurance and shit for it. Now let me see what all the questions you guys had. Give me 1 second. You're going to open up again the insurance policy. You can just do that with whomever you trust, right? Whoever that is that you trust. If you already have an agent, I would absolutely go with them. Um, I would just go with that agent at this point. If not, then again, I'm going to drop Alma's information so you guys can go with her. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just trying to stop sharing the screen over on YouTube since we're just chatting at this point. Or for those of you on YouTube, I'm going to end